back, everybody. Welcome back. So funny. Just for anyone who wants to start a YouTube channel or podcast, make sure your memory card has storage. I was really recording, and over here, like, why is the red button not popping up? And
I'm trying to stay calm.
I realized that I had no more storage in my memory card, so I had to delete 7 minutes of me just talking. So it is what it is, though. So today, I did promise y'all on my last podcast that I would have someone here, but I don't think it will be until Sunday, so a couple more days. But I just want to say thank you all so much for clicking on this video, and if you are new to this channel,
Please like and subscribe.
I think this channel is pretty cool, to be honest. Like, it's a podcast.
They ain't believe in us. God did.
But some people might be like, but you like be throwing in clips and
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon.
GIFs and stuff. Because I be looking at people's podcasts, they just strictly talk, you know? But I like to throw in like little comedy here and there.
hand fork برد حي برد.
So if you're a fan of this type of like stuff that I'm explaining, just give me a shot, you know? And if you like this video, just like and subscribe. And all that good stuff. So y'all probably wondering like what I'm gonna talk about today, because my past couple podcasts, you know, talking about war, resistance, law of attraction.
It's not about the power that somebody else is given. It's the power that we are born with. It's the power that comes from a higher source.
Forgot what else I talked about, but whatever. So today I was like, what should I talk about today? What can I bring up that will have a lot of relevance to help, you know, anyone who needs help right now, including myself. Like, sometimes these videos be helping myself. Like, I don't know, like when you realize that sometimes you know a lot of things, but
Hi there. Is there a project you're working on?
I know more than you.
All right.
you don't know until you just start talking. So it's really interesting. That's what I found out about this YouTube channel, that you learn a lot about yourself when you just make yourself vulnerable.
It's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to say you're lonely.
And stop being afraid. So today, I'm going to be talking about tests, tribulations. You know, it's something that our ancestors went through and something that we're going to keep going through. And the reason why I wanted to bring it up today is because I feel like a lot of us don't have the right perception.
My perception, you know what I'm saying?
Or perspective. I don't know about tests. We always think that tests are here to kill us. Or when you're tested, you feel bad. It's because
and so this is a real test.
God doesn't like you, or you know, you just start thinking all type of things. But today, I'm gonna try to break it down in a way that, I don't know, can probably shine some light.
Good morning, everyone! Close the door, you psycho!
Hopefully. So, I said thousands of years ago,
Once upon a time,
in yoga culture, they knew that being alive means to be tested and to suffer and to be immensely uncomfortable. And then also moving on to Buddha said that life is suffering. So I just bringing up this because I just feel like, you know, sometimes we just gotta learn from those who were before us. And I'm not saying that sometimes we can't believe everything that people say.
No, I don't trust you.
But I don't know, like, you know, growing up, we learned a lot about
Fear, 100% fear.
our culture, and
It's a whole cultural experience.
you know, our cultures show us a lot and they teach us a lot.
I ain't going out like no sucker. Yeah. West Coast smoking on gushing. Yeah. Cartier watch shit busting.
And moving on. But then I just made a bullet point. I'm like, but why do we hate suffering? Like, why do we hate challenges? Like, why do we run away? And that's something I ask myself too. Like, you know, I just love asking these type of questions to myself, because sometimes you never know the answer until you just ask the question. And I asked another question. I'm like, is that why we don't chase our goals? Because we know that chasing our goals may come with suffering, you know? Like, growth is there for
When you're living a dream, you've got to leave space for growth. Period.
us to make us better. And that's just what I've learned. Some may argue with me and think differently. But like I said, this podcast, this YouTube channel is just to give my opinion. It's not to say that it's right or, I'm just giving out like just information.
Facts are meaningless. You can use facts to prove anything that's even remotely true. Facts, Max.
That I think may be useful, So another bullet point I did, and I said, when we're idle or not moving, we feel comfortable because we feel that we're safe and we're like in this non-growth state.
I don't want to do things. I want to not do things, just like you taught me.
We're always home, kicking back, watching TV, watching movies, which is cool, It's really nice being able to like enjoy the materialistic things of life. But I realized that, like, do we want to do that for the rest of our life,
Hell yeah, absolutely.
Are we going to be sitting on the couch for the rest of our life? Are we always going to be chasing fun, So I just feel like sometimes we gotta be uncomfortable. We gotta do things that are gonna test our boundaries. Not in a bad way, like not like, like just test your limits, not in a way that's gonna hurt you. But like, yeah, it's just really interesting how we just love being comfortable, but as soon as you start feeling uncomfortable, you start branching out. Even though it might be a little scary, but yeah, when you start getting tested, your real self start coming out of the shell, So my other bullet point, I said cultures all around the world realized or may have recognized the importance of tests for young people passing into adulthood.
Welcome to adulthood.
So like, what do I mean? So like, I just feel like tests are very necessary.
I saw some criticism. People say the punches weren't really necessary. Maybe
They were super necessary
for our preparation in life, because when things are just too easy, when everything is given to you, you're not gonna know how it is to grind. You're not gonna know how it is to like, get something yourself. Because a lot of times we just want a handout. We hear that a lot. Like a lot of us, we just want handouts. So I told myself, like I used to pray, I used to tell God, like, God, I just don't want a handout, I want to deserve everything that I am given in life, by your mercy and by your grace.
okay.
So yeah, that was very important. So I feel like, it's necessary in the preparation for the responsibilities that life will bring.
What you talking about, Willis?
Because there's so much responsibilities that as we get older, it just keeps piling up and piling up. So I just feel like these tests are here to prepare us for what may come,
What day is it? Is it the purge?
That's not a real thing.
All right, then you answer the door.
Chris, answer the door.
So, and I said, if you look through our history, you could see that Spartans in Greece, like who had brutal military training programs, like y'all saw that movie 300. Y'all saw how
Spartans he was inspected. If he'd been small or puny, or sickly or misshapen, he would have been discarded.
Like, they were very strict with the boys. Like, if you were a man, you were expected to like to be a monster. You better stand your ground, even if you outnumbered. You know what I mean? And then I also talked about the Native American tribes. When they were young, when they were children, they were sent into the forest or into nature for several days without food or water, like with the goal of them finding like life's direction. So instead of, them being in the tribe and just eating off the fruits that their elders bring, they sent their kids into the forest like, 5 days, do your thing, survive the jungle, learn what medicines are out there for you, learn how to heal yourself. It's really crazy, like, just thinking about that. And then, so yeah, they're sent into the forest to find their life direction and purpose. Then I put parentheses, I'm like, does this sound like us? Or like us being sent into like you know, into nature.
Nature is amazing.
So like this city, this life that we live in is like the jungle.
We survive because we learn the lesson that you have to live sustainable within your ecosystem.
You know, and as soon as we hit 18, like, you know, because, you know, we're adults when we're 18, but as you can see here, like back then, 9 years old, 10 years old, you better learn what it takes to be a man. But I feel like when we hit 18 here in America, like we're sent to the jungle, you know, go to college, have a job, find out what you gotta do.
What do I do?
Just do whatever you can and just make the best out of your life. And then my next bullet point was about young samurais. Like the trainees who are expected to like show courage and discipline and loyalty during like their harsh training. You know, like I don't know if you guys saw that movie, I think it was called 47 Ronin with Keanu Reeves, but it was just about how hard it was to be a samurai at that time, not just because they were trained physically, but they were trained mentally, and like they had a like education. I think they were like very into literacy, and then yeah, like intellectually and physically they had to be lined up. They can't just be some strong warriors. They had to be tapped in, you know what I'm saying? So my next bullet point was, now if we look at modern life, we can see a big 360 change.
So I'm just like playing Fortnite a lot of times.
Is this good or is this bad? And some people are gonna be like, what do you mean by that? I'm like, when we see our younger generation. No, I'm not trying to hate on them, because I was one of those kids like growing up just playing video games, you know, not learning anything, not picking up another language, not like, you know. So I feel like today's society is designed to shield us away from growth. From like struggle. Like they just want us to be so comfortable and so safe, because as soon as we feel that we're unsafe or uncomfortable, we like just shut down. When back then our ancestors, as soon as there was tests or struggle, we knew that there was a blessing on the other side. Because like in the Islam or in the Quran, it says like with difficulty comes ease. So a lot of times we assume when difficulty comes that more difficulty will come. So we try to take that mindset that when difficulties here, when tests are here, it's a blessing in disguise. You know, it could be a blessing in disguise. We try to just have that mindset, like just whatever happens, just be thankful and be optimistic.
Why are you such an optimist?
You can just do what you can, you know? So I was just thinking about like how, but because society does this, like, you know, like I respect America. Like I'm not saying I hate America, because, you know, America, like, that's why we came here. Or that's why our family came here from our countries, or just because, like, you know, it was safe, you know, we were comfortable. So, but I'm just saying, like, we should be able to do more as a younger generation, or for our younger generations coming up. You know, we should, like, become more eager to become our greatest versions again, you know. And I said my next bullet point is, when you're not given the opportunity to grow or to build resilience, you may end up fragile, dependent, and lacking the challenges that make us become our greatest versions.
I've never been treated like this.
So we need challenges. We need downfalls. You know? Sometimes we always make it seem like taking an L is bad. Like we always hear that term, oh, you took an L. But sometimes I think that taking an L can be a really good thing. Like I took a lot of L's in my life. And I remember as a kid, I used to be like, I used to be sad, like, oh man, I took that L. But now I'm grateful for whatever happens to me. So my next bullet point was, pearls are pressed by the sea. You're like, what? So like, yeah, like, you know, pearls, like we all know that clams, like it has to be pressed by the sea with the pressure. I don't know how much pressure it has to be, but that's what forms pearls. So throw that in there. And I was like, diamonds and gold, they're not just
get one of these.
that perfect form, you know, they are molded, they are put under heat. And so I just wanted to compare that to people. Like, sometimes we're put through all this pressure because something great is gonna come out of us. So that's why I'm like, there's a wisdom behind everything. So my next bullet point was, so if we dedicate our life to hard work, excellence, mastery, perseverance, tests are always gonna be blessings, because that's gonna trigger you to be hungry, to be successful. And my next bullet point was, is life bad when we are tested, or is it good? Just a question I'm just throwing in there just to put in people's minds, you know? And then I also put, tests are like interactions from the universe or from God. And I also put, I could be wrong, just because, like, you know, who knows? But I'm just saying, like, we have to look at everything with optimism, you know? And my next bullet point was, people run away from hardship, but we should embrace them, because setbacks are what makes us hungry for revenge. I don't like always using the word revenge, but
that's it. Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, you have to die.
Like, whenever something bad happens to me, I'm like, I'm gonna get revenge. Not in a bad way, but like, I'm gonna show that person that I'm not what they say I am. I don't know if that's a bad characteristic of me. Maybe because I played sports, like when I used to play football and I'll get smacked by somebody. And in my head, I'm like, I'm gonna get my revenge on you, watch. I'm gonna try to catch you slipping. But yeah, that's just something funny about me. My next bullet point was, and failure is what makes us disgusted. Because, like, disgust can be a very strong weapon. Because, like, as soon as we're disgusted with something or we're hurt by something, we just, like, you know, just run away, we break down. But when something makes me, like, you know, gets to me, I sit there, and, like, sometimes that just being disgusted can really, really just get you off your butt, you know? So, and then just moving on to my next bullet point. Don't be afraid of struggle. Struggle is here to make us better. And that's my last bullet point. So that was pretty much just the end of everything that I wanted to cover pretty much today. Pretty short, but overall I just feel like tests are not what we think they are. And, you know, our whole life we've been tested, from kindergarten to college, and we're going to continue being tested. So overall, yeah, I just feel like now, whenever y'all feel like y'all being tested, just sit back and then take a deep breath and just try to find the wisdom through everything. And yeah, that's pretty much it, y'all. I just want to say thank y'all so much for clicking on this video, and I hope this Sunday my surprise guest will be here and I'll be able to have some good material for y'all. So thank y'all so much, and have a good day or night. And yeah, like I said, if y'all ever need a laugh, or I just need some good information, tap in, because that's what I dedicate this whole channel to. Like, I put a lot of focus, you know, a lot of time into, you know, what I say. Because I just want to say one more thing before I let y'all go. Sometimes it's like, people don't want to listen to, like, information, because we just feel like, oh, information is not important. But sometimes without us even knowing, like, when you hear someone say something, you think it doesn't, like, come to your mind, but your soul is always listening. Your soul is always catching up on things. So with or without your permission, you're being influenced by information. So just whatever you're watching, or, like, you know, or whoever you surround yourself with, just protect your mind, or protect your heart, and protect your soul. Because a lot of days, I don't know, I feel like our body, everything is like commandments. Like, our body is just consistently doing whatever our environment is telling us to do. So yeah, I just wanted to end it on that, because I just find it really important at the end of the day to know that your mind is really important, you know. So protect your mind. But all right, have a good one. Thank you guys again, and hope to see y'all next time. Bye.
Goodbye.